right, I think we're
Hey, my friends.
live. What's up, you old pirates?
How are
How
you?
doing? All right. Oh, looks like our late joiner is trying to connect. What's
Oh,
up,
nice.
everyone? Hope you're having a great Sunday. We're gonna start here in just a couple minutes. We're gonna get our buddy Mr. Tyler from SWTVC on in a minute. These Utes, they're gonna be late to their own funeral. So, hi everyone. I'm joined today by Augustine from the Vintage Collection Facebook group, one of my fellow admins.
Hi, everyone.
And we're here with the big tuna, Chris Swansky from Bantha Skull. How are you, Chris?
Howdy. I'm doing well. It's a little warmer today, so life is good.
Yeah. Let me bring on Tyler. There he is.
Tyler.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, buddy? Joining us right on time.
Sorry. My apologies.
What's up, buddy? We got Tyler from @SWTVC. And Tyler, I always mess up your individual Instagram account. SW375 Collector.
SW Collector 3.75. Yeah, very close.
Okay.
There it is. How are you, man?
Good. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. Good discussion today. Looking forward to it. Let's say hello to all the people
John,
coming in.
Before you get started, you got to highlight Tim's comment from 1:02 p.m.
Yes.
No,
All right,
not that
Tim.
one. The next one down. The next one down.
Oh. Taking utter liberties. Oh, too funny. Is my camera following me again? Jesus Christ. Hold on a second. These stupid. I don't know why I bother with this fancy technology. Whatever. All right. So Tuna, we had some pretty cold weather up here. I mean, I think the top of Mount Washington with the wind chill was negative 108.
Right.
Whoa.
And the
Negative 108.
And
Insane.
the stratosphere actually came down to the peak. That's how low the atmosphere was. The stratosphere was at the peak of Mount Washington.
That's insane.
I think that's the coldest recorded weather in history. I think in America.
U.S. history. Yep.
U.S. history. So, crazy. So, it's definitely warmer today. I think it's like 43 here today.
Oh. And
So
that's
it's getting
warmer.
nice here.
It's getting warmer. Yeah. Augustine likes to tease me. Augustine likes to send me photos of him on the beach. He sent me one like a week or two ago, of his nice, beautiful tanned legs.
78 right now.
Of course, 43 is shorts and t-shirt weather for Tim. He might be a little warm at that time.
I was going to say, it's a scorcher here for Tim today. So let's say hello to all these people in the chat here. We got Darth Del Rio, Paul Morales, July through November. Action figure grader John Rula was saying hello to us. He's doing a Patreon live stream right now, so he can't join us, but I'm sure he'll check it out after. TVC Datalorian, hello, good sir. Love to hear these types of things, we bring joy to people. They've been waiting all day for us. That's too kind. Even this stuff too here, right? What's up, Des T? Nice pick me up after yesterday's Echo Live. What happened at Echo Live? Are you okay? Spent too much money there? Is that what happened? Gary Moore, hello, good sir. Still in makeup. Yes. Make sure the hair was right. Rocket City Sith Bradley, what's up, man? OV Band Kenobi, hello, sir. This is no cave. Nick Reddock, Tim, of course, Bosk's Bounty. Peak Obi-Wan, what's up, Chad? Jesse Carter, Rando Mando, that's a nice long name. Larry, I'm sure Larry's looking forward to talking about Han Solo today. We got Dennis Z. We got Steven Novak. What's up, man?
Man, look at that. Rearranged this whole day for this. Cheers to you, buddy.
Who's that?
Steven Novak.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I was just going through. Nice. Clark Hamilton, longtime member, always wants to try to get in and watch these live. Glad you're here. Darth Wizzy Wizard. John Lasseter, what's up? Mr. Skeezer. Ben Mund, hello, good sir. He's not far from me. He's the one that does all the really cool carbonate blocked figures.
Mm-hmm.
Did one for Tim, did one for a bunch of different people. He did me a Bib Fortuna one. Who else we got? Oh, we got Chuck. Chuck McMiniman's on. What's up, buddy? Jeff De Silva and Fetmatic. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. Quite the show today. I want to first go into the fan stream that happened on Wednesday. Chris, I loved your article.
Well, on cue, I just banged my knee on my desk, so that's kind of the perfect intro to that fan stream. And like I said, and wrote as you referenced, I know we saw a lot of good stuff, and my analytical side says be happy, and we got the N1 pipeline, and it's not HasLab. I feel like the community was about to have a meltdown if that was a HasLab. We got the Vader, aside from perhaps the Hayden Christensen portrait. Vader looks awesome. Excited for the hat on. Piet looks awesome, but I just cannot get past the half measure on Han Solo, the cutting corners on yet another OT main character, and it's like I said, this is a me problem because I shouldn't care about this, but it almost ruined my day. Just looking forward to something this long and knowing this is likely our last chance to ever get that figure done definitively, and using was it VC-124 legs, that's one thing, which I have to imagine it's probably a really nitpicky, but Alden, whatever his name is only 5'9", and Harrison Ford 6 foot tall, so I have to imagine those legs are scaled a little bit too small. The lack of rockers bothers me, but the thing that really gets me is that ridiculous torso cut, especially since that exact torso cut is one of the reasons we said that the old one was terrible, was insufficient. The barrel-chested Han Solo.
Yeah, I don't know if my camera is gonna be able to do that. Get this, but his torso cut, Jesus,
It's
is
flush.
barely physical. Yeah, it's flush.
It's not an overhang.
It's not an overhang. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Let me bring up the images here. Just give me a second. Any other comments, Chris, as we go into it?
Oh yeah, then the kind of the Han Solo was the left hook, but the right jab was the fact that the 212th clones are Clone Wars painted. Why can't we have we need the movie painted clones?
That was the biggest thing that annoyed me, honestly.
Yeah,
Really?
We'll talk more about that, but
I'm looking forward to your feedback on that, Tyler. And I saw that you commented on that. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we just go through them?
I love that picture for Hauser sitting on his helmet, because to me that's the wah wah pose right there for that announcement.
Oh yeah, we have much to discuss today.
Yeah, what's interesting before we get into this is like, I usually, obviously you can point certain things out, but as you dig into things after the stream, after you see more of the photos, sometimes it eats a little more at you. And then obviously with some discussions with your friends, and then you're like, oh no, I'm going down this road. So let's go into Piet. I mean, first and foremost, the sculpting is pretty amazing, and the film out. How do you guys feel about this card back?
I love it.
The
It's
card
awesome.
is great.
I think it's awesome.
Oh, I lose my.
What?
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, the film out's pretty fantastic, I must say.
Is this the first time we've had the Death Star on a card back?
Well, there was the as the full, like, I think possibly, I know, when you had the Vader, the Emperor's Wrath Vader had him in the hangar.
Right now, I mean from the outside, having it
Yeah.
from an exterior Death Star.
Yeah, it also makes me wonder what Jared's card will look like as well. But
let me just do one thing. You guys can still see. Okay. I just want to be able to see everybody and my screen. Hold on.
I get confused with the card backs because sometimes I picture John from your group, Tyler. I picture his card backs. I know didn't he have for the episode 3, Darth Vader, didn't he have the skeletal Death Star in the background?
Yes. No, actually, I'm sorry.
Oh, he didn't.
It was kind of cropped because in the scene where you see Vader with his arms crossed, you can see him and the Emperor.
Yeah. Okay. So it's that profile shot.
He cropped the the Emperor out and just made it Vader, and it's so good. Oh, I still want to see this Dark Times Vader like retooled with like an episode 3 head. I would love that, but anyway, probably never gonna happen. But one can dream.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it. I'd rather have
ahead.
episode 4. I'd rather have episode 4 first because VC93 now is just really dated.
Oh yeah. Terrible.
I was going to say
Even the Rogue One is no comparison.
Oh yeah, the mini Vader, shorter than all the others.
I was going to say the TIE fighter pilot might have the Death Star in the background, but I'm not sure.
All right.
No, it's got the asteroid field, doesn't it?
Is it? Okay.
And that's why it's wrong, because it's got the asteroids, but it's a Return of the Jedi card, I think, and it should be Empire Strikes Back. Oh, something like that.
It was at the end of the Empire line when it came out.
Okay. So, Chris, I know in your article you spoke to the what do you call it? The cylinders here.
The cylinders.
Yes. Yep.
The code cylinders, right? And he only had one by his.
Had it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Moncall had it.
Oh, there we go.
The thing is that the rank, how do you call the rank, the insignia? It's wrong. It's right and it's wrong at the same time. It's right because Piet shows up with that insignia in episode 6, but that's actually the insignia of a general, not an admiral. Captain, sorry. Not the admiral. The Black Series 6 inches figure has the correct insignia here. I know that he shows up in episode 6 with that insignia, but I feel that they should have used the other one, the one with, I believe it's 8 things instead of 3 or 6 or
It's 6 over 6. 6 red squares over 6 blue squares. Yeah.
Because then if at some point we are going to get an episode 5 Piet, it's going to be exactly the same. They could have used 2 insignias to differentiate one from the other one.
Well, he gets the Admiral badge.
Sorry?
He gets the Admiral badge in episode 5. In fact, the Power of the Force freeze frame figure says Captain Piet, but it has the Admiral badge on it.
Okay.
So he does get the Admiral badge in episode 5.
But then in episode 6 he's using,
right.
Depending on the scene, he's using both. So
does it depend on the scene?
To use the other one for the episode 6 Piet.
Yeah, I know Tyler has talked a lot about this. They've asked questions as well to Hasbro. Chris, how do you feel about that?
Well, we talked about it, privately. I'd rather they match the movie, so I'm happy with that rank badge. I'm always err on the side of the actual wardrobe. But like I said, I think he does switch to the Admiral badge in Empire, after he gets his battlefield promotion.
He does. He does. Yeah.
So they could always correct it that way. Then you get both. They could do this.
So, as far as accuracy for Return of the Jedi, it is accurate to Return of the Jedi. And if they're going to put out a Return of the Jedi version, then he should have, what's accurate to the movie, even though it is wrong. And I'm fine with that card back and everything. For me, it's the fact that when they put out Admiral Piet, they should have put him out on his debut appearance card, which would have been an Empire Strikes Back card, and he would have had the correct rank insignia, right? And then if they want to go and do a Return of the Jedi one after that, they can. And, they can use a different torso like they're going to use for, Moff Jerjerrod and maybe Captain Nita and whoever else is coming down the line, right? I'm not saying Captain Nita is coming. I'm just saying they could use it. But it frustrates me personally that we've waited so long, 25 years, for a definitive, Admiral Piet figure, and they put out the captain version first. Even I know he's Admiral, but he's wearing he's wearing a captain rank badge at the end of the day. Okay, like that's what he's wearing. Because he wears it in Empire Strikes Back before his promotion. He's wearing that same badge. So we know that's a captain badge, right?
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating to me. I love this figure. The figure is beautiful. It's awesome. It's definitive. Absolutely. I love the card back. I'm not saying any of that is bad. I'm just saying that I'm frustrated with how they have chosen to approach it.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it gets tough with the inconsistencies, right? Do you copy the movies? Do you copy what Kenner did in those instances? I know, Chris, you have kind of a mantra with all that, right? With
Right.
Fix the Kenner mistakes,
Right.
But keep it accurate for the movie, I guess.
The vintage collection isn't a replica line. That's retro, if there's anything. The vintage collection is supposed to be a continuation of the line where things constantly get better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's got some great sculpting here. Obviously, I know, Chris, you talked about the code cylinders.
Yeah,
something.
It's interesting. So you're looking at the loose picture here, and he has the code cylinder in the his upper right pocket there. So he's got the code cylinder there in his upper right, our left. And then if you go to the carded shot, I mean, in the movie he doesn't have a code cylinder in his right pocket. On the card back he doesn't, and in the actual figure in the card he doesn't have it. If you zoom in here, he doesn't have it. So this is accurate. Hopefully, the other one the loose one looks like probably a hand painted sample. This looks closer to production, so I'm hoping this is what we get without the code cylinder. But what's interesting to me is that it seems to indicate that they can have the capability somehow to make quick changes to this torso tooling, which may facilitate, as Tyler was saying, the other ranks and other officers. I mean, there's some that have 2 code cylinders in each pocket, some that are 1 and 1, some that are, so it's also some that have none. There's quite a few that have none.
And that might tell you, that they made a couple of these torsos to try to match some future figures.
If you look at Moff Jerjerrod, right? Moff Jerjerrod has, I believe, one on each side. Let me double check. Yeah, he's got them on both sides. So that figure would necessitate having code cylinders on both sides. But if you look at Captain Nita, for example, he is the same as Piet and only has it on the rank badge side. So just, little interesting thing.
I believe captains only have one on the left side. And then admirals and up have 2. And I don't know why some have 2 and 2. But I might be confused.
So my understanding about code cylinders is that it's part of what denotes rank. Like, yes, obviously the rank badges denote rank, but code cylinders grant access to different things, like, certain permissions granted, basically. And so the more code cylinders you have, the more access you have to, like, programs on a Star Destroyer or, rooms or whatever. I don't know. Something like that. Basically, the more code cylinders,
the more access,
the higher your, like, clearance, basically.
Correct.
So
That
it's
makes
like
sense.
carrying around a sign on your chest that says I have a top secret clearance. That's basically what it's, you know what I mean? But yeah.
I love it. I'm learning things.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great.
And I was looking at Admiral Throne. He has 2, right? So maybe they were working on him as well.
Yeah,
Because I'm
Thrawn
guessing that
has
correct.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's gonna show up in the Ahsoka show. So hopefully they can use this as the base for him.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, Thrawn is it's no secret that Thrawn is my number 1 most wanted character in the vintage collection. And now that we have, you know, 80 to 90% of the tooling, hopefully I won't have to wait 2 or 3 years for that figure once he debuts in Ahsoka or maybe The Mandalorian season 3. Hopefully.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Gonna go
That would be
segue.
great.
Nice. Yeah, I mean the sculpting, let me go back to him.
You know, some people were commenting that his hat is too big. I know Tim said that, John Lindquist, you know, at the Vintage Concepts. They think his hat's too big. I think it's just a matter of, you know, in these prototype pictures, his hat is kind of too far back on his head, and you're seeing like a little bit too much of his forehead. It should be like his brim should be further down on his forehead, you know. That's just my opinion anyway. But
yeah, the photos are kind of also like from a lower point, you know. I don't know. To me, it looks like from a lower point, but I actually have. Let me. God, I'm all over the place. Hold on.
I love the fact that he has a removable hat, though. That's great for customizing purposes.
So these Imperials, stupid camera. The hat's perfect.
Yep.
And it comes off.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's sometimes a little frustrating when they've done them pretty damn good in the past.
It's a very thin plastic too.
This guy
on those hats.
A little tipsy with his crooked hat. But anyways, these Imperials did a really nice job with the hats. Unlike the Bespin guards back then.
I've made some different customs because of those types of hats.
Oh, nice.
Let's see.
Let me zoom you in.
I can bring these in.
Yeah, dude, that looks great.
This one here, the female in the middle is actually using if you've ever seen Terminator 3, it's the Terminator TX. It's her head. Found it on eBay. And
That's awesome.
it just makes for a real severe looking female Imperial officer, you know, and I don't know if you guys can see those very well, but this is the this
looks
one here
great.
Is the Death Star or the Imperial Navy Trooper. And I just put one of those little black caps on him, you know, made him an officer there. So
now where'd you get all the extras?
I just bought a crap ton of custom fodder, I guess.
Nice.
But,
yes. Taco Jawa, what's up, man? Yes, we're happy.
Yeah,
we're happy.
We're just nitpicking.
Yeah. We're human. It's what we do.
And we are connected. And that's what we do.
Let me just go through some of the comments here. Yep, sharing the same sentiments, right? Director Krennic, finally, maybe.
Hopefully.
yeah, that's another minor retool away. We need a new torso, a new head, and a cape. In a holster, a belt and holster, actually.
I don't know if Emily had him in hand. I know she had the carded figure, and she was showing off the carded figure. I could go through some of our screenshots on Facebook, but
I don't remember it either.
I need to check the cylinders. It's funny. It's these things, you know. Now I'm gonna watch these movies again and be focused.
Yeah.
On these little details. No, that's it. It's possible the photo sample accidentally used the Jared Gerard torso in the parts.
Yep.
And
It
I'm
could
trying to
have.
remember here. He was
Possible,
pipelined,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Jared
he
Gerard's
was.
been pipeline. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we were kind of saying. Like very well, they have made a few different torsos to accommodate all these different Imperials. Oh, okay. Here's some good on both sides in TDSB. So does Ozzel.
Not in all scenes, I believe. That's on the scene.
I'm just scrolling through these. No removable hat ever.
I could not disagree more with that.
I agree. I agree with him. No removable hats.
Yeah, like why? Look,
What?
what's that?
How am I supposed to make customs without removable hats?
Oh, okay.
Just buy somebody else's $50 heads like John does, and you can make customs.
God. I mean, I could do that.
This is true. This is very true.
Thank God for the 3D printed secondary market, right?
It's crazy. Some of the customizers out there, they'll take a Bespin guard head and like bore it out and make a cap. Like it's just what they'll do with fodder, custom fodder. It's amazing. Nice. All right. So yeah, obviously, the sculpt is pretty amazing. It's got rocker ankles, nice shiny boots. I'm
wondering how flexible the lower tunic is going to be in terms of allowing them to sit down. Curious about that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I bet you it's pretty rubbery, but still, right? It's pretty long. So,
yeah, it's long.
And I think she mentioned all this stuff about the barbell, and it's got she was even highlighting the barbell joints that everyone whines about, that if a figure doesn't, VC 186 Boba Fett is obsolete now because he doesn't have barbell joints. Like, no, you can pretty much do everything still, just not as free flowing, I guess.
Yeah.
One thing, but it's a swivel waist on this, right?
I would bet it's a ball joint, but it's very low, and his belt, his belt is hiding part of that.
That's something in my review that's coming out tomorrow for the light cruiser Luke. I hope in this discussion of torso articulation, it hasn't become binary where it's either that awful midsection torso cut or swivel. I want the barbell construction where you get that at the waist, where you get a little bit of flexing there, because a figure like Luke needs that to lean into some of the poses.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I think people forget that the barbell waist, if you will, or torso joint, it can be lower down, and usually figures with belts and these what do you want to call it, mid torso sections, like his belt and his the rest of his jacket or his shirt, it lends to that. But Tatooine and Morak Fett has that. I know there's a couple more figures that have that. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but they're doing it at times at a very much lower point. And you're right, it's giving them way more articulation than a swivel or whatever it's called, old style.
Yeah, it's important. It's important for Jedi figures. Any dueling figure, you got to have that little bit of lean into the
and
attack.
It helps with balancing the figure, not just well, first of all, the rocker ankles and that barbell waist help with the barbell hips to properly balance a figure. So big fan of that stuff. And I think people need to be reminded too that, rocker ankles are not more expensive to tool or to make. They're literally an ankle joint flipped on its side. So I think flipped on a different plane. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but it's it's no more costly to do it. Obviously, if you're leveraging it from another figure, you're saving money on that aspect. All right, so let's move on to Mr. Hauser here.
Well, I just want to say as far as the torso, cut, we all sort of made a lot of noise about the fact that we did not want to see a big, nasty torso cut, and I appreciate that Hasbro listened to us on this. That was very nice to see. A lot of people made noise about that. You guys did. I know Caleb over at JTA did. Tons of people were like, please do not put a big ugly torso joint on this and ruin the torso. And they listened. So thank you for listening. If you're watching this, Hasbro, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, great point, Tyler. Very great point. I will say too, his likeness looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, the portrait is so good. That's great.
He
looks like a man who works for Darth Vader. I mean, just look at those.
Yeah,
those baggy eyes, man. That's
a little
tired.
Right there. A little shot. Yeah. It's an old code. It checks out. What does he say?
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Hauser. I'm just like, whatever. Here's my money. I'm gonna take this figure and put it in a box.
You guys continue on. I'm going to take a nap here while we're doing this figure.
Yeah, I guess this is pleasing the people who really want that name pill, and I don't know. It's like a nice carry forward figure, I guess.
Yeah, but I swear the 4-pack will be down to $15 by the time this figure ships.
Yeah.
So if you just need the figure,
what's it at? 45 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one that I could see being a victim of all the delays and logistical problems. If this was, a few months ago, it might have made sense, but now it's just what we know now. It doesn't make sense. And I know this is no cave said, what a waste of a mainline figure slot. Just a reminder, a pack refresh doesn't take away from anything else. So the only thing that could go in its place is another pack refresh, which seems to be stuff limited to 2010 and beyond and after.
Yeah, great point. A lot of people think this wastes mainline slots and stuff like that. Great point to make.
Yeah.
It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not obviously I'm not going to buy it. So except for when I get the case. So what do I care? I care because I don't think any figure that I know is going to go on clearance is a good idea.
Yeah.
I bought Ballast AK Hauser by way of buying singles. Well, there you go. People probably going after a nice mint Rex or something. I don't know.
I haven't checked to see how much those Rexes are going for, like individually, in a while.
What other cases have had a refresh since 2018? What do you does he mean figures? Like carry forwards? I'm trying to understand.
There's been a lot of pack refreshes. There's been I think that's their internal name for a figure that's just existed and they repack it.
Yeah, she said that a couple times. And does that mean on the same card, right? Pack refresh. I thought pack refresh was when you have a figure and you put it on a new card. I
thought so too, but don't forget they're technically new cards because they have a new card back. They don't match the original one. The back of the card is going to be different. You're going to have different the warning labels have changed, yada yada yada. So there's been. I mean, typically there's almost one per case. I would have to go back and do the accounting, but they. I mean, obviously we had the VC68, the Hoth Rebel that was carried forward. I'm sure there's others. I'm just drawing a blank right now, but there's been
the 2.0 ones.
The range trooper from Solo, that was one.
Yes,
for sure.
Range trooper, the tank driver.
The tank driver as well.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm trying. The
those would be.
I think the Knight of Ren was carried forward, wasn't it?
Yeah, those are carry forwards, which are a little bit different than
Yep.
the pack refreshes, which typically what we're talking about is
Sorry.
TVC 1.0 figures. Really, that's what we're a lot of times getting to.
Yeah, I just highlighted he was meaning carry forward figures.
Yeah.
So, but yes, yeah, Chris, the ones that need some updated card back standpoint. Gotcha.
Updated, and obviously the figures should need re-released, but that's not always the case, as we can see here. Yeah, that's a great question.
I'm pretty sure it is, but who knows?
It should be, since it's the same card image. If it's a different number, that's going to be so dumb. Oh my god.
Well, the Anakin Darth Vader, what was that, VC12? That kept the same number.
The same number.
VC13, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, Cal Kestis too is going to be carried forward from wave 13 to 15 or whatever
that is a weird pick.
Why can't they carry forward a stormtrooper or something? Come on, man. What is it? What is it? VC 240, 241? What's that new? The A New Hope stormtrooper? Is it 241?
231, 231.
231. I'm sorry. Yes. That's what should get carried forward.
Yeah.
How many of those you got, Augustine?
Honestly, I don't know. Most honest answer. Probably 40 or 50. Yes.
What about you, Tyler?
You know, I'd already bought so many of the Rogue One stormtroopers, and then the Gaming Greats Heavy Trooper, that by the time I got these, I'm like, I literally have more stormtroopers at this point than I know what to do with. Like, I am out of, like, where do I put them? I have so many stormtroopers. So, you know, I only got like 2 or 3 cases of them, I think. Of
you just
the New Hope ones.
Just sprinkle them in the front.
Larry Hines, I'll remind you that I still want to see your 300 strong stormtrooper army that apparently exists, but still waiting on a picture of that. Just saying.
Yeah, come on, Larry. Chris, how do you feel about this? I know you want a stormtrooper on the pegs always.
Oh well, that's just me echoing what the fans say. But I do think it makes good. It's not something I would die over, but I do think it makes good sense. But again, I don't think with the reality of the factories that they can do that. Have it in every case.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tyler gets 2 voices in this now. You're going to bring up his comments too.
Sorry, I was trying to click on this one.
I was replying to Larry Hines saying, "I'll show you my stormtrooper collection," which is what he says every time, and then it never happens.
I got a few cases there, Tim. A few cases.
I wanted 100. I've wanted 100 stormtroopers for some reason ever since I was a kid, and I'm at 56 right now.
You're at 56.
I've lost count. I've genuinely lost count.
I'm talking about of just the new one.
Oh yeah. No, I don't have that many, but over time. I
remember when the Context Stormtrooper ended up at Toys R Us for $2 or $3, whatever it was. That was going to be my first time. I'm going to get 100. I'm going to get 100, and I think I ended up with like 40 of them. That was an awesome sale when they had the. Do you guys remember that when they had the bins? Like just they dumped them in the wire baskets, the Comtech figures. Yeah. And I remember the lady, like I had like a shopping cart that was filling up. Stormtroopers taking the there was no Cape, it was $1.97. I was taking, every once in a while I was taking that R2 with the holographic layout, which was really hard to find. Take Stormtroopers all taking R2, Stormtroopers keep filling up, and the lady came by and oh, Randy's saying I'm still Oprah rich. Lady came by like, what are you doing? I'm like, I guess there's a problem. She goes, no, take them all. She didn't care that I was kind of hoarding all the stormtroopers.
$1.97. Gosh, it's so much harder to army build now, man. $17 a pop. I mean, Christ. Good
Yeah, and
Lord.
those ones don't tend to go on discount
No.
after you've already bought a bunch.
Well, you might be able to get some non-mint ones from EE, and you order them, and it says your order went through. Then they pull the rug out from under your feet and go, "Ha ha! It's not coming."
Terrible.
That's terrible. That should not be able to happen. What's up, Mr. Schumacher? Good to see you on.
Randy, at
Yeah. When I was a kid, I always, loved that scene in Return of the Jedi, the Emperor's arrival, right, where he's got all the stormtroopers and the TIE pilots and the scout troopers and all that. I always wanted to recreate that scene.
Yep.
And now I have enough stormtroopers to be able to do that. Now I just need enough scout troopers to be able to do that. So but,
the vintage Kenner Imperial shuttle box too also had that. That's the one that made me want to really set up that many stormtroopers.
Yes.
All right, so on to Mr. Vader here. How do we feel about this one?
I love it.
I love this one.
Yeah,
I
great too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just finally get the Vader, which is kind of funny. Fans had a fit when the Sith Eye figure VC-13, the Sith Eye was called Anakin Skywalker. Isn't this Vader technically Anakin Skywalker again at this point? Is he redeemed?
Won't let me zoom in, damn it.
It'd be funny if we got another running change to happen.
Yeah, Anakin Skywalker redeemed.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
It's probably too late, but that would be funny.
Yeah, I'd rather say Darth Vader myself, but
and
he's still in this suit, so
yeah,
and it's chock full of accessories and whatnot, right? You got, and now remind me, does the bottom of his helmet there, the mouth part, is that a separate piece as well? I thought she said 3 pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if that's removable on this figure, though. I don't think the head separates from. I mean, she didn't demonstrate that when she was showing the figure.
Yeah.
So.
But still, what do we got here? We got John. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accessories and obviously his soft goods. I love how he's in here with his what do you call it? Stump of an arm left. Just showing that capability instead of having like and remind me, guys, does this slide into the stump?
No, I'm guessing there's a pivot right there.
It pops off and
yeah.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
The thing I'm happiest with is we don't have to deal with, I don't know if this is showing up, we don't have to deal with the open right hand on Vader anymore, which obviously, is that coming out, the open right hand that we have from the existing Vader? Because obviously that's the, he's holding let me do it right-handed. He's holding the saber when Luke's chopping it off. So if you want to set up that scene with this figure, you can't do it because it can't hold the saber in that hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I know there's been a lot of debate out there about
the face sculpt,
the likeness, the face sculpt. At first it was, is it just skinny down so all the helmet can fit? What's going on with that? A lot of people feel like they see Hayden Christensen there. Some people feel like they see a combination of Shaw and Christensen. Some people just see Christensen, and some people just see Shaw. Some people think they did that to leverage it for the pipeline reveal of the Kenobi Vader duel in Kenobi. It's unfortunate that it doesn't have that likeness that the old figure had, right? Is it VC-08? which was also, I think, in the Legacy collection. Chris, I know you guys have it on Bantha Skull.
Yeah, it was in the Legacy collection, and then it's did it start at the Evolutions, the 05 Evolutions? I think that's where it started.
Okay.
That figure. It's been repacked obviously a bunch of times. Yeah, I would say the thing that we're looking at right now is it's kind of the recess of the eyes, right? That's what's jumping out to me. It seems like the eyes are a little bit more recessed than the Sebastian Shaw head should have. But that could also be the lighting if they're lighting it top down.
For me, he needs to have a thicker cheeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little fuller.
Right.
So I want to check something really quick here because we had a member of the Facebook group who also I think is on Instagram, but he showed his updated paint apps of that VC08 head sculpt, or the Legacy figure head sculpt, and he nailed it. Darn it, just give me, I rarely use this Facebook on the computer, so it's like, how do I use this? Anyways, I'll have to find it at some point, but we had a member, he's a really good customizer painter, and he showed an updated VC08.
Sorry to this comment.
I agree. I actually agree exactly with this comment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was like
Humpty Dumpty.
Revealed.
Yeah.
Hit with a spoon.
Many of us felt like when he pulled his head off, he was like, "That's Vader. That's this guy." What? Too funny. Anyways, I'll have to find that photo. But there were some people who took the old Vader, revealed Vader head and repainted it, and it looks amazing.
I'm just happy to finally have a truly definitive episode 5/6 Vader.
Yeah,
there's so many that I have in my display that I can't wait to replace. I'm probably gonna have to order a case just to open before I even keep a card sample.
Here's something exciting too that you may not have noticed, Chris. If you look here on the chest box, on the Dark Times one, right? I'm trying to make sure you can see that. Yep. So the buttons in the top, top left are green and red, right?
Yep.
And then the switches down at the bottom. Switches down at the bottom are gray and then one white one. Mm-hmm. If you pull up, John, the this Return of the Jedi one here, you can see that they did make the effort to repaint the chest box to be accurate to Return of the Jedi, because he's got blue and red buttons, and the switches are white and then one gray switch. So that's attention to detail right there, and I like it. I like that.
Nice.
So the only thing I will say is that one thing I liked about the Revenge of the Sith figure from the Black Series 3.75 inch line was that they decided to sculpt the chain onto the armor piece, which was, I think, a good way of approaching the how do we make a chain without it being a chain problem, because they could never quite get that right over the years, right? They use that big silver, wire string piece, whatever it was, for a long time. And so with this Dark Times Vader, in the Kenobi series, it's kind of tucked under his helmet. So the chain is there, but it's tucked under his helmet, so you can't see it. But in Return of the Jedi, you can see it. And unfortunately, since they didn't do any retooling, you're not going to get any chain there. I guess that's, it's a small thing, but if you want to nitpick, I guess that's really the only thing. But also, I guess, over the years, they've done many different, going back, like you said, Chris, all the way to the Evolutions figure, right? That you just held up there. His inner tunic on the top of the figure was soft goods, right? But with the Dark Times figure, they've chosen to do a a plastic upper tunic and a soft goods lower tunic, and they can achieve the pleats in the tunic that way, but you do sacrifice that uniform look. So I don't know what your thoughts on that. I prefer all soft goods, so it looks
I do too.
uniform. But again, that's my only other little nitpick. I don't know. I think the portrait looks great.
I was gonna say, where's Jason Attewall to tell you to pull out your iron right now?
Hey, can you bring up Randy's comment from 150?
Absolutely.
He's right. That's it. We're done. We don't need any more. Definitely no more. Only about 30 more that we need.
Right. All right, let me go back to sharing. All right. I mean, the paint apps too, right? I think something like this there's a lot of deco here, right? From a lot of little things painted.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, I mean, I know it's $16.99, but I'm glad they didn't go like some deluxe route or something on this. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, you're getting a lot of accessories here. It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different paint apps here, even on his face.
The mask, the top of the mask is like amazing.
Look at the mask. Look at it all.
With Piet too, not to go back to Piet, but they didn't have to include that blaster because he never uses one in the movie, but they did, and that was nice that they did that. Because I know they included it with the Black Series figure, if I'm not mistaken.
Someone noted it was very Kenner-esque looking.
Oh, the blaster? Yeah.
I think I saw that in the comments.
Because I know they have to price out all the accessories, from figure to figure, right? So they could have, I'm not saying they should, but I'm saying they could have, because they've done it before, put Piet on a card with only his hat as an accessory, if you want to even call it that, right? And no blaster. And then they would have said, oh, well, to cost it out with this Vader and all his accessories, we had to give Piet, no accessories. Where the games Hasbro likes to play with that stuff, right? So it's nice that he had a blaster, but
yeah, it looks good.
TVC Mackin is asking if this can be leveraged for a New Hope Vader. You could
most
take
of it.
Yeah, you'd really take the Dark Times. You probably start with that because it has the correct arms on the Dark Times one.
And then all you need is a new torso where the tunic goes over the armor, basically.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just an easy retool away. That's all it needs.
And the eyes need to be more kind of red.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they kind of did that with the Obi. Well, maybe not. They're a little bit red on the Dark Times one because he's supposed to have pretty much the same look.
Right.
So the armor that he wears in Kenobi is exactly the same as the suit that he wore in Rogue One. It's just that the tunic is under the armor instead of over the armor.
Mm-hmm.
But because on the helmet he's got the A New Hope style paint on the cheek and stuff.
When you do that, put it over your face so your camera doesn't focus on you.
Oh, sorry. I'm bad at this.
There you
go. Anyway, whatever.
John, if you go back to the sharing and then go advance to the one where it's the helmet's like lifted off.
Sure. This
no next right there. Now click on it to zoom in. Click on his like
look at
that detailing, and even the lenses. They got the slight red on the lenses.
Yeah, look at that.
It's amazing.
I hope hopefully it comes out like. Hopefully,
did he have red lenses in Return of the Jedi though? I thought that was just a New Hope thing. I thought they were black in Empire and Return of the Jedi.
This could be more of just a lens look.
Reflection or something. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not red, but it's like giving it that translucent look, so to speak. And you can see those control panels too better, right, Tyler?
Yeah. Yep.
I played ignorance on the lenses of the actual prop. I know you can see it. You can see it on screen in A New Hope, and you can't see it in the other movies. But I don't know what the actual prop was.
Yeah. Adam Savage. He's got a lot of cool stuff on YouTube, and I think he goes through at least the Kenobi Vader with the prop team and like talking about all the iterations of Vader over the years with them. That's pretty cool.
Larry Hines said they confirmed they were black in 5 and 6.
That's what I thought. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how red that is, or if that's meant to be red.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really should have said you can tell they're distinct from the rest of the mask is what I should have said. As opposed to saying red.
But he looks like he's got a silver cheek.
Yeah,
he does.
Just like in the New Hope. But they didn't
here.
really do that for Return of the Jedi, did they? I thought that was just in A New Hope thing where they, you know what I mean?
I think that was always. I could be wrong, but I thought that was something they did with the mask always. Where's Johnny Mustache? Where is he?
I'm not sure.
John, we need you more than you know. All right.
Okay.
Let's get to Honnold, buddy.
Don't let me down. Oh, too late.
Geez. Johnny, come on.
Use your arrows. Just use the arrows. Forward and back.
No, I'm trying to pinch and zoom with my Mac, and it doesn't like your photo gallery, sir. So yeah. Anyways, it's zoomed in pretty good. So, how do we feel? How do we feel about the card back, Augustine?
The card back is great. The figure is the huge missed opportunity.
I think the card back is from the deleted scenes where he's clearing the bunker with the commandos, right? Or the not deleted, but they filmed some scenes of him and the commandos clearing the bunker that didn't make it into the final cut, basically. I think that's what this is from, this image. But because I don't remember him being in this pose with that background in the actual movie. But
yeah, that's a good point. That's not outside. That's
right.
That's inside.
I could be wrong, but I think that might be what that image is from. But
is this a new blaster? I wonder.
Hey, we're not done with the card.
We're not done with the card. Sorry. Right.
I think that blaster might be the same one that was packed with Pilot Luke, maybe, possibly. I don't know. X-Wing Luke. Might be wrong.
But I'm as a purist, I'm a little not like going to write an article about it, but a little disappointed that it doesn't have like a sub reference on the card. It's just Han Solo. It's not Han Solo.
Oh, right. That's a good point.
I wish it had the parenthetical sub reference on it, just so you could differentiate it, especially when you're trying. Well, the VC number helps, but when you try to look up this stuff in the secondary market, every bit of differentiation you can get helps you narrow in on it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great point. Yeah, interesting. Oh, and by the way, I was going to say earlier that Piat had the paperwork inside. So does this Han.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
So that's like the final version.
Oh, interesting.
I love the logo. I love the 40th logo. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for it.
It looks nice.
Yeah, I like it. But I'm also being a hypocrite because, we all said that we didn't like the 50th logo. So I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the figure. I don't know what it is about this. I was joking around with Tim that this guy's short and husky like me. That's what he looks like. I think he wears a size 12 boys husky pair of jeans.
I'm just happy torso cuts are back. We got rid of them, but they're back. I'm so happy about
it. They're making a comeback. You wait long enough, they come back. They're in style. Yeah, something. I mean, there's just Just looks short. He looks short. He looks.
Well, like I said, he's using tooling from an actor that's 5'9" for a 6 foot tall Harrison Ford figure. So it's probably why it looks short.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot be objective about this figure. I've already told Brett he better review it on Bantha Skull because I'm going to give it a 0 out of 10 if I review it. And I'm probably going to take a video of myself breaking it in half and throwing it in the trash and spitting on it if I have to review it. I'm so disgusted by this. And I know I'm being a big baby. I understand that. I can't help it. I'm just what have we had since Yak Face and Klaatu? We've had one newly tooled. Am I right? One newly tooled OT figure. Completely.
Oh, are you thinking of X-Wing Luke?
Oh, two. So X-Wing Luke, Lando.
Yeah. And Lando. And then for Boba Fett. But who are you referring to?
Sorry, Boba. No, all of them. So 3.
Okay.
Three in basically 4 years.
Yeah. All 100% all new tooling.
Yeah. And it's just like I said, this is it. This is going to be the last one we get. So only saving grace is you can throw the duster on them from the other figure and hide half of this stuff. Of course, you still have the Jason Bateman head on it, so that's not going to help. I'm hoping this is hand painted and the photo reel is going to dial in the head a little bit better. Especially, they can get some contour and bring out the contours of the face too with the photo reel. So I hope it zeroes in a little bit better.
Yeah. Got a lot of Corey Feldman comments too. I noted. Go ahead.
And any actor where their eyes are in different zip codes, when their eyes are on the side of their head, like a flounder, that's what this figure is.
Oh my god!
I'm never gonna look at a flounder.
Oh my god! Eyes in different zip codes. I can't with the codes.
I was telling Chris too. He looks like Brad from the Goonies, Josh Brolin a little bit too. Just slap a little bandana on there. It's Brad from the Goonies. Yeah, and just speaking with some of our fellow admin team, I know he's like, he was a bit bigger in Return of the Jedi than he was in A New Hope. He had baggier pants, stuff like that. So, can any of this stuff be leveraged? Or it's weird because when you look at this Solo figure, he doesn't look as bulky. I don't know. Could just be the photos. What? What's wrong with me? What? What?
The head is too big.
Yeah.
He does look too big.
And these hands, where are these hands from? Because that bent over thumb is giving me flashbacks. These hands can't be new.
I'm looking. So
can you see his left shoulder, or excuse me, his right shoulder in any of these pictures? Because I'm trying to see if the arms are the same as young Han. Because he's got a little pocket on his right arm.
Oh right, yeah. I don't see.
Nope. Looks like different arms.
Yeah.
We've got 2 comments so far that these are the young Solo hands.
So young Solo hands, but different arms. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at them. They do have the one hand has the side swivel and the other hand has the middle of the wrist swivel, which he has as well. They almost look bulkier than young Han at the wrist. I'm looking at here, so I don't know. I can't.
Maybe because of the new arms.
Just looking at the diameter of the wrist, so it might be leveraged. It probably is. Yeah, and this is just not. This doesn't look. This is just like I know Lando. His torso joint doesn't look as bad as the photos did.
Yeah,
right?
true.
It's there, It's a little pronounced, but it wasn't as bad as the photos, and I'm hoping the same here, right? Regardless,
I'm just playing with this young Han figure with his torso, and the cut that he has in the torso is like it barely affords any movement at all. It's almost like, why even bother? It's such a small amount of movement.
Yeah, Boba Fett is the same way. VC 186. If there was anything on that one, like it doesn't lend to much articulation.
Yeah.
Well, you could say too, this is jetpack and all that other stuff in the way. All his other tooling. Partial tooling. This figure was always we a lot of us were worried when we heard after, in the Q&A. I think we asked the question, Augustine.
It was you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Augustine. Yep.
Yeah, we asked, and he said he's not. And I think the community at that point all winced when they heard that.
John, the camera's only on me right now.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. So yeah, good point, Tim.
But it just burns me that I know 5 POA is not okay. Randy's there. I don't want to ever say that, but we could have had a 5 POA mithril for all I care, but we cannot get a newly tooled Han Solo. It absolutely kills me. It's killing me. Not literally, emotionally, irrationally, it's killing me. That we just can't get a new Han Solo.
This is how I felt. How you got the frustration that you guys are feeling right now is how I felt about the Scout Trooper.
I absolutely that too. And
this one is slightly less offensive for me because just because of how much of an upgrade it is compared to previous Hans. I understand it's not up to par with what you guys want it to be, and I understand that. I'm just saying, compared to what we have gotten in the past, it is the best thing we've ever gotten, right?
That analogy is like the kid in school that gets all Fs, then he gets a C-, and the teacher goes nuts and celebrates. It's like, wait a minute, you still got a crap grade. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I got it. But
Tyler, you're upset about the Emperor too, and
especially because they made it like this big thing. Oh man.
Yeah.
VC 200, this iconic character, the Emperor, big freaking deal, right? They made a new head and a new hood for it, and that was it. And I was like,
and
freaking serious.
And I wasn't upset at the time, and again, it's one of those things where I was wrong. I wasn't upset at the time. Then I got it in hand, and I'm like, no, this sucks.
Yeah. Yep. I was not happy about that at all, especially when you make a big deal out of celebrating it, like it's
and
VC 200 milestone, blah blah blah, and you can't even make it a new figure.
And it's a figure you can keep, right? You'll keep releasing, you'll keep packing in different things. He was in the throne room exclusive, exclusive, and so that's tough. You think in those cases they'll put a little more funding into it because of how much they're going to get out of it.
Well, it's the same as the Biker Scout. How many variations of Scout Trooper could they have put out with an all new tool, and instead they retooled a bike that we didn't need a retool of. Like that's what they spent the tooling dollars on. Anyway, I'm going to go off on a tangent, but whatever.
And the Scout Trooper, it's not only the reuse. How many cases of that I would have bought 3 cases of that Scout Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they could put him on a gaming grades card for Battlefront 2, with a sniper rifle or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
Let's go to some comments here. At least he's covered by robes. With this Han, you can't polish a turd. we know that one. We know that saying there, right?
Yeah, it was in Christine. Wasn't it in Christine?
Right.
You can't polish a toad.
It's like lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is unacceptable for main characters. I think that's what we're trying to say, right? These core characters.
To Chris's point, this is what we're getting at. Really, is that we're tired of the corners being cut on these OT main characters. You know,
Yeah.
they did it with the Emperor. They did it with Endor Leia. Now they're doing it with Han. And it's like, how many times do we need to tell you that it needs to be an all-new figure? All new, from the ground up. Like, ugh.
To
Yeah,
an extent, they cut corners with even Endor Luke.
Yeah.
So it's the entire Endor trio.
Yeah.
It's only the culmination of the biggest, most culturally significant trilogy in the history of cinema, and they cut corners on all three main characters.
You were saying, I think, in your article too, like Hondo got rocker ankles.
Yeah. It's
Galaxy's Edge Hondo. Galaxy's Edge.
Oh,
everybody.
yeah. That was a waste of a all new figure. I know some people out there are like, I'm glad I got my Hondo. Well, good for you, but you know,
and it probably was one at the time. It was probably one that were kind of forced into. In fact, it might even been partially funded by the House of Mouse. I'm just guessing. That's not anything informed. So, but it still burns my ass that it's there.
Yeah. I don't know. With how precious few all new tools we get, you just think about some of the choices that are made, and it's like, I don't know.
I just want to go back for 1 second.
It's like, you know, a lot of people say they want more aliens in the line, and so that's why certain people, you know, they love the Mythrol, right? And they're like overjoyed that we got the Mythrol because it's an alien. And it's like, okay, well, would you rather have that all new Mythrol character or an all new Han? Because clearly we can't have both. So
Thank you, Nick Labatt. He, yeah, good point, Tyler. Just wanted to highlight this really quick. This is the Vader that somebody just literally repainted. How good it looks. Sorry, I just had to go back to that real quick.
But I know not everybody thinks this way, but the way I think, Tyler, is the more prominent the character, the better it needs to be.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
These characters are the most prominent. Like I said, the back in TVC1 when the Weequay Skiff Master got announced, everybody was celebrating. And I'm like, but we have the stupidest, ugliest, crappiest figure for the main Weequay, the one that you actually see pushing Luke in. That one should have been updated. Then you get to the Weequay Skiff Master and start working back. You can't have the most prominent up front characters looking like crap in your display and have these awesome backgrounders. It needs to go the other way around.
Yeah. When you're talking about priorities for all new tooling, Han is an example of what should be prioritized, right?
So just to answer, I don't even know if I can do the next Q&A. I don't even know because I don't think I could be professional with it. So
just don't put your camera on. We need the two grumpy old men. Go in there, give it to them. Talking to you, Trandoshan treasures.
Now there's Jason.
Where is
Middle-aged Kiwi man.
Where is he? Hey,
214.
People are. We got 95 people on right now. That's great.
Yeah, that's the most I've seen so far in this stream.
Nice. Me too.
It's kind of funny. In the Times crossword a couple days ago, it was Kiora is hello in this language. So I knew that one thanks to Mr. McMixwith.
Wow. There we go.
What's the Hobbit language? What's that called?
Maori, same thing. I don't know.
I'm just kidding, Jason. Love you.
All these people saying, Chris, do it, man.
Do it. We got a bunch of Palpatines in the chat.
Well,
kill them now.
The thing to remember is that it's not the guys that we're talking to. This isn't their. They don't set the budget. They're not making.
I know.
Right. But
we got to be nice so that we get invited back on.
The one thing I will say that's a bit of a myth. I care about how I feel when I put my head on the pillow at night. That's the thing I'm struggling with. But you can Hasbro doesn't ban people for asking hard questions. That's a bit of a.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But.
I know you're kidding, but if you look around, like that is a little bit of a narrative that especially when they were pre-screening the questions, people took that to mean that which technically they still do. Took that to mean that they were censoring the questions, which they never were. It was just to let them research the questions, to give answers.
Because they want to come in prepared.
Yeah.
We love the Star Wars.
Which was kind of amazing at the time. Victoria we'll have to look into that for every question she asked. Sent them in advance. Still didn't get the answers.
I will say, not to be on a tangent here, but one comment that burned me was, well, I love this because I get to make what I want.
Yeah. And
it's like, well, yeah, I'm sure anyone feels like that, right? Hey, I get to make what I want, but hopefully you keep remembering your customers and your community.
There's a prominent YouTuber. I can't think of his name. I've seen his videos come up quite a lot. He just put them on blast for the retro collection, which I don't think any of us here particularly care about. But I do think it had like what
was it that retro blasting guy?
No, I don't think it was him. But the guy that cracked the whip, is that the guy? But he put him on blast because I always thought from the beginning that there was a narrow lane for retro. Like the Tarkin was a good example, and getting people replicas of things that are now getting very, very expensive. There was a narrow lane. And then once they started going into the new media, it's like, okay, you've just ruined it once you start doing this. And so he brought up the live stream where they show the pipeline reveals for the Book of Boba Fett. Then he just goes on Amazon like I do all the time when I'm making arguments. He goes, here are the OT retro collection figures, $25, the ones that I've gone by. Here's all the new media ones, $5. Here's Fett at $5. It's like, to your point, John, they're doing what they want to do, not what the market wants, not what the customers want. They seem to be doing stuff that they want to do, or maybe, to be even fair, stuff that LFL wants them to do, and not what we're asking for.
Yeah, we can go into some of this other stuff too that might point to that. Like why are clones being painted more towards the Clone Wars and not the movies and stuff like that? I don't.
That's the one. Yeah. That's the rant Tyler saved up for. He called it at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, and we got some comments on that. Let me see what the next. So why don't we jump into the let me present the next thing here. I wish they would save what you keep sharing. Darn it. All right, Tyler, go into some clone discussion here, my friend. This is an area I'm not a master in at all.
I mean, I love this figure. I think it looks great, personally. This is not the one that I have issue with.
It's the Troop Builder.
It's the Troop Builder pack that I have issues with. This one's got the line across the top. The brow line, as they call it. I think it looks great. I think it looks to me like the clone trooper we've been waiting for all these years. So some
people were picking on the visor not being.
Oh exactly, the nose piece. They're saying the nose piece is a little bit too thin. I don't know.
Something about the armor too. The armor now with Disney is a bit different. Is that true? Do you guys?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know enough about that. So
the only thing I'll say about that, and I know this is kind of Tyler's line here, but this armor fits on a human. To me, that's more important. Like to be completely faithful to the digital renders from episode 3. I'd rather have one that actually fits on a human body. Just because you get that, it's not an uncanny valley, but you could tell there's something, even looking, except for the first, I will say the first super articulated phase 2 clone, which was not accurate. That did look like a human. But the new one obviously doesn't look like a human could fit in that armor, the spindly like VC45 based one. So I'd rather have it be a real world thing than a digital render that can take liberties and things like that.
Yeah.
Tim, get rid of that U. Armor's not spelled with a U.
Armor. Joa.
Armor. Armoire.
Yeah.
We're American. We're dicks. We know. Yeah. Some weathering would have been nice. That's like the only thing I can say. Maybe a little weathering. But
Weathering battle damage, yeah.
two left feet are always great.
You know, is it really? Yeah.
It looks it.
When it comes to weathering, though, the old, as they call it, the antenna mold from Revenge of the Sith, they all had the exact same, scuffs on their armor and everything. I don't know. I mean, I think I prefer them to put it out clean, and then if you want to customize it with, battle scoring or whatever, you can do that, but they won't look all the same that way, So.
Okay. 1 second. Augustine.
I don't want a whole platoon of guys that look exactly the same.
Augustine has to run, my friend.
I gotta go.
Great.
Sorry.
Great
Thanks
hanging out
for
with
having
you.
me, John. It was nice.
Okay.
Keep it going.
Pleasure. Take care.
Be good.
Thank you. Bye. Tyler, Chris.
Later, buddy.
Augustine.
Bye.
You got to bring up 2 comments in a row. Tim from 221. And then Randy's reply right after it.
I did not see that.
You and your aluminium.
Winner. Oh gosh.
Armor color stop. Skip. All right. It looks good here. The helmet doesn't look oversized to me. I know it's an angle.
I think it looks great, honestly.
Yeah.
I wonder if the
Cool.
if the carbine and the rifle are newly tooled, or if they're the ones from the like VC45 mold. Did VC45 come with both, or only the long one? I'm not sure. Anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the two rifles are newly tooled or not. But
Yeah.
VC45 came with both.
okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
What
I
did
should
the
know.
ARC
I
troopers
bought freaking 100 of them. I took them all out of the package, so I don't know anymore.
and they're obsolete now. They're obsolete.
Oh gosh. Well, they still look good as phase ones, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a ton of these, though, for sure.
All right, the troop builder.
All right, this is the one where I'm going to go off. So when they showed this
Hold
image
on.
right here.
Wait 1 second. I'm going to be like a sports radio caller. I'm going to shut up and listen.
So first during the stream they showed off the clone trooper, I was like, yes, this looks great. In my head, I was thinking, oh, I can't wait till they repaint these in all the different battalions. And then they showed off the trooper pack. Can you guys hear me? It's like oddly quiet right now.
We can hear you.
Okay. So they showed the box of the 212th, and I was like, yes, they're putting the 212th out. Super smart decision. And then they showed, the troopers, and I was like, oh, they look great. And then I was like, they omitted the brow line? Why? I'm like, oh, God, no. Oh, so frustrating. I'm so frustrated.
Is there any other paint app differences on the bottom here?
So Waxer has a different paint job on his helmet and on his upper thighs, as you can see there.
Yeah.
He's missing the orange on his upper thighs.
Yeah, and his crotch.
The torso's
Yeah, his crotch. Yep.
It's a little smaller. Yeah.
So I both like and dislike that they put Waxer in here, right? I'm glad that we're getting a Waxer, but I think that, you know, they should have put him in the main line instead of Hauser. You know, put him on his own card, right? And have an actually named figure that way. And then in this Trooper pack, you know, we've seen that they're willing to do a little bit of new tooling here and there, right? So they could have put like a Cody style helmet on one of these guys and gave him a backpack like in Battlefront and made him, you know, a heavy. Or they could have put an airborne helmet on and given him a comma and made, you know, an airborne trooper. But instead they made him a named character, which I don't know. Because now if you buy a bunch of these trooper packs, you're going to have 5 different Waxers. Like, why would who wants that, you know?
That's what we want our troop builder packs, unique characters.
No, I mean, I think that I like that they're putting out Waxer. I think it's cool, but I think that maybe he doesn't belong in a trooper pack is my point. But it's super cool, you know, that he's got the hash marks and the little Twilight girl on his helmet, and you know the portrait looks great. All of that's great, but my issue is that when you go back to the very first animated figures that were in the vintage collection, right? Anakin, Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars, and to a lesser extent, Ahsoka, because you know there was no live action actress at the time. You know, when you look at the card backs, right? They superimposed Hayden Christensen's, you know, live action face on the card back, and the figure is a realistic interpretation, right? Same with Obi-Wan. They did, you know, Ewan McGregor's face on his Clone Wars, you know, body, and the figure is a realistic interpretation. But now they're starting this new trend where they're like, oh, if it comes from an animated source, then it needs to kind of look animated. And it's like, no, it does not. Vintage collection has always been about realistic interpretations. Stop doing that. So it drives me nuts. It's like,
yeah,
we know what the 212th are supposed to look like. They were in Revenge of the Sith. Just make them look like that. You know, it's just like,
yeah. Hunter looks very animated stylistically too. So
yes. I do not want to see this trend towards animated continue. I'm going to be really loud about it, and I'm going to make this stop because I don't want to see it anymore. It's frustrating, but this was the single biggest thing for me that, like, overall the stream, I was really happy about it for the most part. I thought TVC had a great day. I know you guys were very upset about the Han. For me, it was the deliberate. You know, because I asked Emily, I was like, so was that an accidental oopsies? Like the paint was accidentally, you know, not there or whatever, or is this deliberately omitted to make it look animated? And she confirmed that it was deliberately not painted to make it look animated. And I'm like, why though? You know,
maybe because
they started this trend in the Black Series, and a bunch of Black Series collectors were like, we don't like this.
Right.
Don't do this. And it's like that they didn't hear that or something. I don't know.
Plus,
yeah. So
I know the Clone Wars is popular, but the number of people that have seen Revenge of the Sith dwarfs the number of people have seen Clone Wars. I don't know why they're going with the I mean, I just brought this up the other day and I was shocked. According to Nielsen, Disney Plus had 2% of all screen time worldwide, or maybe in the US, excuse me, last year. That's it. 2% of all screen time across the entire United States went to Disney Plus, and that's for all of Disney Plus. That's for Marvel, Pixar, you know, the Disney Princesses stuff, Star Wars. That the 2% of screens are tuned to Disney Plus. That's not the most marketable properties that they have. Are these, you know? I know that was obviously on. I can't remember. Was it Disney XD? What was Clone Wars originally on? Or was it Cartoon Network?
Yep.
So it had
John,
it had. What's that?
Can you pull the picture that you had just had up again?
Yep.
Because it's actually someone pointed this out to me. It's actually not just the brow line that makes it look animated. They did this with the Black Series 212 Clone Trooper. John, can you zoom in on the trooper on the far right? His helmet, far right. That's left. Your Xbox right. No, your other right. The far right.
I can't really. Maybe the best I can do is that.
That's good. Yeah. There we go.
That's the best I can do.
Okay, so I know it's hard to see here, but if you look at the orange upside down triangle, right, on the figure on the far right, you can see that the orange stops about halfway up the helmet. It doesn't go all the way to the back of the helmet like it's supposed to, and like it does in live action. And they did this with the Black Series too, and that's part of, I guess, how they look in the show. Like it's only painted up the front half of the helmet or whatever in the show. But they've done that here with these figures as well. It's just frustrating, man. Because if you look at the 212, let me pull this one up here. This one is from.
Hold on a second.
I believe this is from the comic pack. But if you look on the back of the helmet, it's supposed to go all the way to the back of the helmet. Oops, sorry.
I think I can do this here. Hold on a second. I could zoom in that much right there. So you're saying right here it kind of breaks.
Yep. It's hard to see it, but you can see it.
Yeah. I can see it. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts for, I'm sure, some people that want that screen accuracy from the movies. And I'm not sure why they chose the Clone Wars more. Is it because there's been so much in the Clone Wars being offered?
I think it's because they decided they wanted to put Waxer in here. And, you know, it's fine to put out Waxer. I'm all about it. That's cool to have a character from the Clone Wars. But the problem is that they were like, okay, so we're going to make this weird hybrid of realistic and animated. And it's like, no, it should be a realistic interpretation. TVC's always been realistic, all realistic, you know? I don't know. It's frustrating to me.
Yeah. I'm looking through some comments right here. What do we got here? When I made a comment about the lack of black line above the brow, someone replied that I could use masking tape and paint it myself. No way. TVC must be realistic. Randy, we need this in rhyme form.
Look, you know, someone said that to me. You know, John at the Vintage Concept said, "Can't you just paint it?" And it's like, sure, yeah, I can. I shouldn't have to. Is the point? You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to fix my figure as soon as I take it out of the box. It should already just, I don't know.
Someone that keeps asking that, as I do. What's going on? The chest paint's different too. Someone had a post about it too, and just like talking about all the different paint schematics for between the movie and the Clone Wars. I was like, wow, I would not know this.
So when that was announced, it was like Tyler was saying, as soon as they showed the box, I did like the fist pump because you knew they're going to repaint it, and I figured they were going to do, you know, 501st. You go there, one of their favorites.
Right.
Yeah.
But the 212th was the one that was most in need of getting back out there. The last time we had it was that TLC 2.0 brief little wave, Amazon exclusive wave there.
Oh, right.
So we need to get back out there. And so I did the fist pump, and I'm like, oh God, limit 2 per customer on Pulse. Now I'm gonna have to be haunting Shop Disney to be able to get, you know, enough of these. I'm like, so at first I'm nervous. Then I went from wanting, not how am I going to get enough to like, I'll get one and I don't care. I'll get one just to have it and that's it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to. All right, then we got our boy, Mr. Weequay. And Chris, obviously you were talking about this, right? He's front and center on the skiff, pretty prominent there. Definitely
Even
looking
with
forward.
Even with the swivel hips and swivel ankles or ball jointed ankles, standard ball jointed ankles, he does what he needs to do still to this day.
And we get, I don't know if
color corrected knees.
Color corrected knees. There's the old one.
Yep.
So just to upset a lot of people, all the savings they were doing there towards the end of the line. They speak about that in the archive book. But yeah, I'm looking forward to buying a bunch of these just to do some custom fodder. I mean, I think people, I'm sure Hasbro knows that people love making all sorts of different kit bashed Jabba goons. And you can use these, right? You can use these for the Mandalorian. They've showed up in, I think Book of Boba Fett. That's right there for some. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, it's the same one. I thought for a second that was the Vibro axe of Brock Starsher, but it's not. It's amazing how they must have all these what do you call it? For each figure, they must have all this ingredient information to make the same exact coloring of the accessory and paint apps on it. And I'd love for that to be updated with like how they did was it Woofs, and I think the Skiff Master have like a very nicely paint deco on their axe with the metal blade and everything. But whatever, I don't. Looks translucent a bit.
That could just be the light catching it.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. Wonder if that one's 3D printed.
Oh, could be. Oh.
I'm done. I'm out.
Which one are you getting? Are you getting all of them?
We forgot to put this up on SWTVC and nobody cared. So,
well, Hasbro was very excited about his blue blasters. So,
very exciting.
And I know there was one here that hurts Chris. This guy hurts Chris.
Oh. That was Pipeline, though. We already knew this one, right? Wasn't it Pipeline?
Yeah. You can see him and see the actual. Look at that. Oh, God, he looks so good.
The one that actually hurts me more is the Endor Soldier.
Yeah.
Just because I know how well we would have supported that. Plus the fact that once again we have the bunker coming out, so you need these to go with the bunker. And if you want to buy the original ones, they're at a minimum card. They're $40 a piece.
$40 for a beat up card. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's gonna army build those at that price.
Right.
Oh, he's talking about the TBS one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this again. We'll be seeing this in our Amazon feeds for $9, just like the Hoth, the equally awesome Hoth Trooper that they did an army build at a lesser price. So we'll be seeing this one on clearance.
Oh, it just looks so good.
I will reiterate that it's blasphemous to see 6-inch on these vintage cards, but nobody else seems to agree with me. So whatever.
I'm with you, man. Especially when it's stuff. The Chewie card will always hurt me. The alt Return of the Jedi card for Chewbacca.
Tim's right that it does look kind of with the knee articulated and it's unpainted. It does stick out a little bit there.
Yeah, right here. Whoops, we missed a little something. Yeah, I'm sure the normal release will be fine. The gloves too, everything just so.
Yeah.
People are. I love the customizer community and their detail. So I was making Gizum, and they were like, "You need to take an Endor Rebel soldier and use his gloves." It's like I gotta spend $40 to get these gloves for this figure. I ended up using Grief Karga's hands. I was like, I'm just gonna use Grief Karga. But it's amazing some of the reuse, and I guess that was one of them. They had the same types of gloves.
I would have killed for this in TVC. I would have bought so many of them.
Yep. He's got everything. He's got
none of our Rebel troopers have freaking ball hips. None of them.
Right.
Well, hold on, that might be a lie. What about the Hoth ones? Are those swivels?
Yep.
Yep.
Let me see here. Are these swivels? Ah, it's swivels. Swivels.
Yeah, they look so
The
good.
Rebel fleet troopers have swivels. The commandos have swivels. The Hoth troopers have swivels. Can we just get a freaking Rebel trooper with ball hips or barbell hips, for Christ's sake? Good Lord.
When was the last time we had a all new Rebel trooper?
Freaking 2010. I don't know.
Yeah. You're all buying this helmet. I know you are.
It's actually
Nope.
pretty cool, but I'm not buying it.
Chris?
If I was going to cosplay for the 501st, I would buy it. But
No, not me. I bought Vader and I bought Fett, and that's it. I'm done with the helmets.
Yeah. I know. For my 40th, I got the fancy Mando helmet. I forget the company who made it, but it was very expensive. I don't know why. But I love it.
I do have the Black Series Mando helmet. My girlfriend got that for me, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I have the Dark Saber too. She got me the Dark Saber too.
That's awesome. This will be a GameStop special. $69.99.
Is GameStop getting out of this game though? No pun intended. I thought they were getting out of the collectibles.
Oh, I don't know. Are they?
I don't know. I thought I read that, and then we heard that they were listing some stuff recently. But when I go into like the mall ones, the smaller ones, everything it's just a disorganized mess on the collectible rack. It's all on clearance.
So I thought that GameStop had completely given up on TVC after that initial, Force Awakens Rey wave, but I ended up seeing the Rogue One Vader wave at GameStop, but I have not seen TVC at GameStop since then.
I've seen from a big, not an internal mall store, but like one of the bigger strip mall ones, one of the bigger GameStop that we have near us. They've been getting it hasn't been cases, but they've been getting singles. They had Beskar Mando, they had the armor, they had which I think is actually the same wave you're citing. They did a lot of the fan channel waves, unfortunately. So they had the Mace Windu and stuff like that. They were still.
Oh, they got those in? Really interesting.
Yep.
I don't check GameStop enough, honestly, though. So.
It's not worth it anymore.
Right.
Even that store I'm describing, I just popped in for the first time, and it seems like it used to be the outside walls were video games, and then the back wall in the middle of the store was all collectibles. And now it's basically just all collapsing into one small, tiny footprint in the store for collectibles.
Yeah.
We know
GameStop
Larry
has a new Andor wave. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really interesting, guys. Let's talk about that. Is man, Hasbro Pulse is starting to ship out stuff before some of their retailers. You guys notice that? The Dark Troopers and the latest wave are coming out before EE Target.
I got this before from Pulse before EE.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. I think
Nice,
know.
Chris.
Review
I'm
tomorrow.
holding out.
Review's up tomorrow on
Nice.
Bantha Skull.
Oh, such a
On
great
that.
figure. Oh, real quick. And Toys of the Way, I don't know if he's still in the comments, but he suggested using the Cave of Evil Luke Skywalker hand where he's like
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're
it's
wondering
funny.
what to do with your, Cave of Evil pieces that are in a bin somewhere, that's what you can do with it.
I don't know if you guys remember when I put Bill Burr's head on Tropical Landos, and I did the whoa. I used those hands.
That's funny.
And yeah, let's segue into this. Oh wait, hold on. What do you got?
I can't tell if I'm over my face though, so it doesn't zoom in.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
What arms are those?
That's the Cave of Evil Luke.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I forgot to put that in the review because it would be handy to have that on the left hand, but I forgot to put that in the review.
He said the Toys of the Way the peg is a little bit too small for the
very skinny.
Luke, so you're gonna have to use some tack or something. But
if you hold it up, he probably right, because that's what he's doing. It'll stage. Just put him down though.
That's pretty cool.
Can I send you a picture, John?
Yeah.
For the exact pose that it's needed, I'll send you that.
Great. And yeah, then we'll get into some pre-order stuff. I know we talked about this a decent amount of time. Tyler, I know we want to talk about March Madness too. I'm excited for that coming up, for the results. I was talking to Johnny Mustache yesterday because I was gonna attempt to do more analysis on what the Facebook group responded. And I know people post in multiple places, right? It's not a end all be all. And he mentioned to me that, a lot of it averages out in the end, as far as the top 64, which I totally agree with. And I'll just say, one thing I noticed is, there was a lot of consistency and there was a lot of, themes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we'll talk about that a bit more, but it's very interesting to see the mix of what we get. Obviously the mains were a huge vocal point. Dooku was a huge vocal point in the Facebook group. Rebels were a huge vocal point. And
so this is the third year in a row, right? As we know. Yeah. And I think that we're going to see a lot of repeat characters year after year, and that shows a lot of consistency. And so that top 64 is a good sort of reference point for Hasbro. Like, hey, this is what people want, and these are the characters that keep coming up year after year after year of high desired figures. So like, take a clue, take a hint, Hasbro. Like, this is what people want. But in some respects, they have put out, in fairness, some of the figures that make it onto the bracket, and some of the ones that are do really well in the bracket. And that sure, that's probably just coincidence, but it is nice when things that make it really far into like the top 4 or whatever end up coming out. Ones that come to mind are Bo-Katan and Morak, Boba, Dark Trooper, and Mandalorian, Ahsoka. Those did really, really well a couple of years ago, and they came to fruition, and that's nice to see. Again, they were probably already pre-planned anyway, but it's still nice.
I'd love to see. I know I've bugged you guys about this by like regionalized themes, right? Like a regionalized core character region, tertiary character region, some of that type of stuff, just
So-
to see what would come out of that.
Yeah.
but I know you're trying to keep things consistent.
Well, number one, yes, we are trying to keep things consistent. But number two is, and I replied to a comment on Chris's article about this. I can't remember which article, but someone said, SWTVC should make a March Madness bracket for only the mains, right? And it's like, well, who are we to decide who main characters are? Because people have different opinions about that,
Tell me about it. I was catching grief because they said Kid Fisto was a main character, which I think
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
and-
So, it's like certain people would consider anything animated as not main characters. Like, oh, I don't care about animated. I haven't watched Rebels, or that show sucks to me, so I don't consider those main characters. Whereas other people are like, Rebels is absolutely some main characters. Like that's a centerpiece piece of Star Wars media. It's one of the shows, So like people have different opinions on that. So who are we to decide what's a main character or what's a tertiary character, blah blah blah. Like you can make justifications for that and arguments, but it's kind of a tricky thing.
Yeah, you would never balance out everything, right? You might have what you deem as 17. I'm trying to remember, what's it, 16, 16, 16, 16, I think. So
yeah, like conferences, right?
Well, yeah, the regions.
Yeah,
Four regions.
But see, here's the thing, though, right? So let's say you did it that way, and let's say you did, okay, we're going to group, original trilogy, we're going to group prequels, and we're going to group sequels, and we're going to group video game characters and Rebels and Mando and this and that, right? It's like, okay, well, in the end, you're still going to have Luke Skywalker versus fucking Hera. It still it doesn't matter. Like, what's the difference? They're still gonna go against each other. You know what I mean? So like,
the Marines, they can't help themselves. They drop the F-bombs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You
Crap.
sailor.
Sorry.
Well,
sorry,
no.
Sorry,
what
guys.
I was saying was you might.
I was trying to be good.
You might not have 16 for each region. You might have more. You might have less. It gets tough. I guess my concern is always, at times, not always, like obviously Pre Vizsla beat Mr. Dooku, right? A main character, core character was beat out by, I don't think Pre Vizsla was a core character, right? In the Clone Wars. What do we got?
Sorry, guys. Whoops.
Oh, I gotcha.
I did not mean to drop that
I did
bomb.
not mark
Sorry.
this as child. Tim, I did not mark this as child approved.
John, I sent you the picture to your messenger. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, let me share this. Chewy.
Oh, another Chewy.
My wife was asking me if our next dog will be named Chewy, and I said we're never getting a next dog. So.
Okay, boy. Okay. All right. Yes.
Let me see if this works here.
Getting attacked here. Excuse me. Good boy.
Actually, it's not coming up for me. 1 second.
That the dog makes up for the bomb, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. I'm not worried about that at all.
Hey, you're allowed. We're allowed what, 1 and still PG-13. So
yes, exactly.
We don't have another one.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm downloading it. Now let me see if I can. This is an amazing photo, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Yes, that's where you need that
Yeah.
hand.
Look
Do
at.
the
Hold
force
on a
push.
second. Let me get rid of
Man,
this
love
bit.
that. It's so cool.
Dude. Your photography skills, bro.
Yeah, man.
Going up many levels, dude.
Oh, thank you.
You got like vapor in the background there, fog, vapor, all that.
Yeah.
You spraying an aerosol can behind shit? Like, what are you?
No,
what are you doing?
it's a Chinese fog maker. So I'm either gonna
that's
give
right.
myself either gonna get self cancer or burn the house down with it. But it's working for now.
So you're saying, yeah, when he has that hand and he does the
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other character. I think that's the only one that has it. That handstand Luke.
Yeah.
Um,
with Dark Times Vader, we for the first time we got like, well, I shouldn't say the first time because Cave of Evil is another example, but I guess in a carded expression, that's the first time we've ever gotten alternate hands, right? I think. If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Ooh, might be.
Anyways, my point is, I would like to see that continue. I think that's
Absolutely.
especially for like Jedi figures like that.
Yeah.
Well, if they ever do, well, the 2-pack Kenobi that's coming out, I hope we get the 2-finger.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
Yeah, which if they ever do a episode 3 Kenobi 2, we need that as well.
1 second, I think Chewie grabbed something. Hold on.
I'm always worried about our new puppy. I have the Rancor on the ground over here, and she still hasn't eaten it, which is good. Yeah, I can't wait to see some of these new figures.
Randy. Randy, I know. we're out pausing the VHS on that one. Yes, that's the movie, Tim. It's a great Gene Wilder movie.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Dank Ferrick, yes.
Jeez. Dank Ferrick. What the heck
Hoodoo.
was I gonna say? Chris, any comments on the March Madness from what you saw in your comments?
So I took notes. I didn't go through the whole thing. Just if we obviously skew towards our readership probably skews older than other places.
Yeah.
So I would say we broad categories. We saw A New Hope heroes, Jabba backgrounders, and, Cantina backgrounders. That was probably the most prevalent. But we did. It was like everything else. The only thing that was consistent was inconsistency. In fact, it would be like one of those things when you see like this thing is like mostly this compound. Then you see the percentages, but the thing it's mostly is only like 25%, and then you have a bunch of trace elements like when they're doing like a chemical breakdown. I'd say that's what it is. We have hundreds and hundreds of replies, but those are the ones that stood out the most. So for the big four. Snowtrooper came up a lot. A lot. Dooku definitely came up a lot.
Yeah.
Tessic.
Yes, I saw a lot of Squidhead and Velkin were like the two big backgrounders I saw a lot just skimming through myself.
Yeah, Velkin. Revan came up a lot.
Yeah.
I think people want that promise from the one that was correctly pulled back to finally.
I was at that reveal. I was at that reveal in New York Comic Con.
Hammerhead came up.
Hammerhead, I saw a lot of. I think that was a big Cantina one I saw. Yeah. Yeah,
and the Tonica sisters or Tonica sisters, whatever pronunciation you want to go with.
Yeah. I saw a lot of, like I said too, a lot of Rebels.
Randy makes a good point here too. Video games are a bigger market than cartoons, and that's true.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep. Well, cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. I was joking with John. I was like I said, I started yesterday listing out everyone's top 25 in our comments, and I was like, wait, I'm gonna ask John. Like, John, do you actually do you tag each page and like their because I just want to see ours.
Yeah.
And he goes, I usually do something like that. And then I said something to him like, I might have to stop right now or I'm going to ruin my night. And what I meant by that was going through it all and doing it, like the work effort. So I can't say this enough, but what you guys do to put that together is absolutely crazy. It's amazing. And I was finding mistakes and I had to turn back commenting back on and tell a couple people like, hey, you got Rancor Keeper twice, or hey, you only got 24, or like anyways, I can't imagine the work effort to do all that. So I give you guys a lot of credit.
So just thank you very much. All credit to poor John, who's literally going to spend a month counting and sorting all this crap. Not crap, but you know what I mean. All this data, I should say. Last year we had 435 lists, unique lists, right?
Yeah.
From all the places that we collected from. And all those lists created 1,200 different characters or, outfits / appearances. Because obviously some people, Luke Skywalker, how many different outfits he's got? He's got like 30 different outfits, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say characters, but we'll say outfits, right?
Yeah,
30
yeah,
different potential figures, right?
I saw some of that.
1,200 rather. And so this year we have 671, I want to say, lists. So almost 700 lists.
That's awesome.
And so I don't know in terms of quantifying how many different unique outfits or characters that's going to translate into. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
Out of all that, it's the top 64 are going to make it into the bracket. So
it'd be
pretty wild.
It'd be great to see that final list of all 671 entries weighted out. And if you guys want, I can put that into like a cool little Tableau thing just to show like a scatter plot of all the entries and their weighting. So let me know.
What'd be good with that too is also with the source.
Because the source. Yes.
That was the big thing I always complained about the old fan choice vote. When you have the five choices, and the year that Revan won, Quinlan Voss actually won, but because he was already coming in the comic pack, they gave the title to Revan. He was already coming. Quinlan Voss was already coming. But the point is, Quinlan Voss won, and then peg warmed, and he peg warmed again, and he peg warmed again. So that fan choice winner kept peg warming. But then if you looked at that year for voting, people were splitting the vote for Knights of the Old Republic. So most people wanted a figure from Knights of the Old Republic, but because they split the vote, Voss snuck in and won it. So it's always interesting to me when you have these, anything where it is a plurality, what's the sources that people are actually most excited about as opposed to the specific figures?
Yeah. I'm sure that is data that I could have, John gather, like, 20% of it was Return of the Jedi and 10% Rebels, or whatever. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I can ask him to gather that. But
I can bug him at some point. I just want the raw data, and then I can like spit it into a cool little thing where you can like, again.
Yeah. No, that'd be interesting to see that. Yeah.
I'm sure it has.
Do you see Tim's question?
Yes. I was going to get to this. So Chris, you want to share the story?
so these are gaming chairs, which make for great office chairs. They're almost too comfortable because you could recline and fall asleep in them. But Amazon had a mistake on their website. This was like a $400-something chair. But if you got the red one, it was the only one. It was like $100 and something. So I got one and told John, and he bought one.
I was like, I'm in the market for a chair.
Nice. I need one of those.
And then my wife got later on. It was the one with the yellow color accent. So my wife got that one. The same thing.
I started my new job, and they were like, "Whoa, you're a gamer." I'm like, "No, it was a price mistake."
I want to see your Twitch streams, John. Come on.
I want to see John finish Fallen Order. That's what I want. Just finish Fallen Order.
Dude. You haven't even finished it. The second one's coming out. Come on, man.
It follows me.
How far did you get into Lego Star Wars 2?
I haven't even opened it.
Okay, so there's a question I have to address in the comments here. If you let me just real quick.
I think this one.
Yes. Okay. So how is the top 64 formed, right? So
yeah, good question.
Okay, so we asked everybody participating when they made their top 25, right, to list the characters in order of your own personal priority from 1 to 25, right? And we said that very specifically because the 1 to 25 translates into points, right? So your top number one choice is 25 points, and your bottom 25th choice is 1 point. And what John Lindquist does at the Vintage Concepts does is he tallies all those points from all those different characters, and the points translate into who makes it into the bracket and where they're positioned, on the board, so to speak, right? And then from there, number 1 goes up against number 64, number 2 goes up against 63, and so on and so forth. And then after that, it just kind of trickles down into however it plays out, but that's how that works, just like in an actual March Madness basketball tournament. Basically the top seed goes against the bottom seed, and so
Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, I'm gonna start a Patreon just so I can get the Regal Robot throne room chair.
Isn't that like $3,000 or $4,000? It's like super expensive.
Something crazy.
It doesn't even look that comfortable, honestly.
Yeah, here's my address. If anyone wants to send me a throne room chair, I'll take it.
Crap, I'd take one.
All right, I want to get to our last topic of the day.
Pipelines? I'm just kidding.
Oh, we didn't talk about those. Shoot, do you guys still have some time? Are you okay?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. The pipelines. Chris, do you have a photo of that?
Not in that article. I just have little teeny insets in another article.
I got them right here. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. What the hell is that? The hell?
No, my headphones are dying. I gotta switch to.
Here we go.
Gotta switch to quarter.
All right, so here we go. Chrome tab. I think this one. There we go. So we kind of all were assuming, since they were releasing a new speeder bike, we'd see this one eventually too, right? I mean,
we all said we wanted it, so I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. Yep. And then the N1 was finally announced. And I think, is the N1 also summer?
Do we get a date on it?
The scheduled date of summer? Actually, it was pipeline, so we don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Earlier, Chris, you said that people were happy that this is not a HasLab, and I definitely agree with that. But there were some rumblings. I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but there were some rumblings that like the Mos Eisley hangar sort of backdrop was going to be like part of it. I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that, but if it was going to be a HasLab, I think it would have had to require that big background to justify it being a HasLab, because the ship itself is not worthy of being a HasLab, in my opinion. But I prefer it without all that hangar stuff. I'd prefer them to do something else with a HasLab.
Do you think it will have the ability to have Grogu in the back and a droid?
Yeah, so we were talking about that when we recorded for the newest podcast episode yesterday, and I don't know how they're going to engineer that, but I hope they do. That would be cool.
Cool.
The one thing I'm hoping is that they can reuse the Resistance Tech Rose to make a Pelimoto for this. It's the only way we're going to get Pelimoto.
Yeah.
Is their outfit that similar?
Yeah. I grabbed a couple roses to make a Pelimoto.
It's as accurate as Cosca Reeves anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to have, that on the shelf next to the Razor Crest. It's going to be cool.
Absolutely.
I kind of want to run a poll, though, and just see, like, what people prefer as Din's sort of, iconic ship do people prefer the Razor Crest, or will they end up preferring the N1? I don't know.
I personally prefer the Razor Crest, but it's almost like two different things. It's like the pickup truck versus the sports car.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the minivan versus the
Taking Grogu to soccer. Is Tim still on? Soccer, Tim.
soccer, Tim. Yeah, American football.
He
Yeah.
might have checked out. I'm not sure if he's still here. The last comment he said was that the March Madness format is great because Ben Solo gets knocked out early.
Oh, I missed that. I missed it. I totally missed that.
That was
Randy, there is no Ben, only Jason.
There
Then
is
we
no
had these.
Dana.
Chewy.
Then we had the Luke Skywalker, the Boba Fett training outfit. Chewie, don't eat his toys.
I'm a sucker for any Luke, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's going to be interesting because I don't think they have a tunic at all like that. So, or a tunic or,
Sorry, guys. My dog's being mischievous.
Somebody asked if that tunic could be reused for an episode 4 Luke. And I said,
Oh.
please don't even put that out in the universe because it wouldn't be accurate to an episode 4 Luke. It closes too close to the top.
Higher up. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not as bulky as that.
Oh God. Yeah. Don't give them any ideas, please.
Right.
And then we have the scene that made Kenobi all worth it.
The only thing that made Kenobi worth it. What are you talking about?
I completely agree.
Yeah, I was disappointed with some of the writing in that show.
Oh.
I'll just say
I think Chat GTP did the writing. They just said, "Give me an Obi-Wan script," and then spit it out.
AI crapped out a script.
and could I know they gave us a flashback of Attack of the Clones ish, right? Where
that was great.
Them training. What'd you say?
I thought that was great. I thought maybe they engaged Hayden though, but whatever.
Yeah. But like, could we have gotten that as well? Like at some point in Return of the Sith with them too? That would have been more physically probably acceptable.
Yeah.
Killed me. Like some crazy battle scene like we saw.
It just needed to like edit out his wrinkles and but whatever.
Like that in the last season of the Clone Wars there where that what is it, that opener of the last 4 episodes where he just like walks out. Anakin just like walks out and kicks ass.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for this 2-pack, but I think even more exciting is the fact that it opens up other new possibilities for other 2-packs or showdown packs or whatever this is going to be as
Plus,
it's also going to be
good point.
Yeah, package it too.
They have to do some tooling here, right? For not just the head, but Kenobi. I can't imagine they're going to reuse the episode 3 Kenobi for the upper tunic on this.
No,
so
right.
You have to do some new tooling here, which is cool.
I think he had more layers. He had like more layers or something. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be I'm interested to see what the expression looks like.
Jason Adewell said Chris's favorite scene was Leia escaping in the trench coat. Still, like I said, when a show is trying to have a serious moment, I laugh out loud like it's a Three Stooges or something, and that's what I did. I laughed out loud at that scene.
I did too.
And I was watching a video, and I love the way the YouTube people get the rhythms perfectly right, and they were like showing the scene where she's running away, and they go, "Here we have a 10-year-old that runs like a toddler but outruns adults." That's what they said about. That was another one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
Does this mean a new Jedi buck? Right, that's what Tyler was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how will this 2-pack look? I don't know. I think people are hoping for carded figures.
So the only 2-pack that we've ever seen in the vintage collection was the Forlom and Zuckuss 2-pack, right? And what
The
was that?
two-
Was that a celebration exclusive or something? What was that?
Yeah,
There's
but
the
we have
Kmart.
the
There's the Kmart packs.
two,
too.
Oh,
yeah, the two
well.
ATS2 drivers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't see them doing that with these though.
Right.
So can we pivot to a off-topic thing here really quick?
Yeah.
Does everything need to be carded? I just
Right.
brought this up the other day. I feel like we're getting carried away with
Yeah.
everything needed to be carded. I like the special action figure 3-packs. I wish we still had those. I don't think everything needs its own vintage collection card.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just arbitrary, because the vintage collection exists, it needs to be on a vintage collection card. I think some things make sense for cards and some things don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, John's the Vintage Concepts card back for Vader. When he took the Hot Toys Vader and put that on the film out.
Yeah.
Which let me bring that up here real quick because I love it. By the way, we're gonna talk about this real quick too. What's going on here? What's going on?
It just came to me, and I thought it would be funny.
I'm just gonna say my feedback. These two need to be switched. Okay, these two need to be switched.
Tyler, did you make this?
I did, yeah.
You can't make yourself Bradley Cooper. You can't do that. That's against the rules. You can't be like, I'm the most awesome guy in the wolf pack. Can't do it.
Well, there's a reason why it just kind of played out that way, but we can talk about it.
I think this would have made much more sense as a special action figure 3-pack instead of 3 individually carded figures.
Yep. How do I bring up Johnny Mustard? Man, it's like I've never used the internet before.
I think that's Black Series though.
No, it's just my feed. There he is. All right. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, I love that.
Obviously it's a Hot Toys figure, but I love it.
Magnificent.
I love it. Cool. But yeah, Chris, I agree with that. I'd love to see that format come back. I absolutely love the 3-pack, the special action figure 3-pack look. Yeah, where is it? It hasn't been done since what? Luke? Jedi Destiny Luke?
Yeah.
Cave of
Evil's
Evil.
after.
Oh,
Yeah.
the troopers. The ARC
Oh
troopers.
yeah, the ARC troopers. Yep.
Yep.
So we've had 4 in TVC 2.0.
We got a question for you, Tyler.
Oh, let me see. Let me pull it up.
That's pretty funny.
I wish. No, Evan was actually the brainchild of this whole thing because he grew up. He and his mother, I think, always watched the NBA March Madness tournament, and he thought, what if we apply that to TVC figures and have some fun with it? And it just kind of took off, and we had so much involvement from the community this year. I mean, we doubled the amount of lists for the 2 prior years. The first year we got 100 and something lists. The second year we got 430 lists, which we were like, wow, we almost tripled our amount. This year we got almost 700. So every year it just gets bigger and more intensive. So and more representative. So thank you to everyone who solicited lists, and thank you everyone who participated, because we want to articulate your wants into the data. So
we want our wants, not Hasbro's wants.
Correct.
Yeah, so let's talk about one last topic here, guys. I know we've been going on for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I appreciate you guys' time, and I appreciate everyone sticking with us on this live stream. We have 77 people still rocking with us, so thank you guys. So let's talk about the announcement, right? About the pre-orders. No pre-orders right now. What are you laughing at? What am I missing?
Tim.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Tyler going, we effed up. we have to.
I've made phone calls like that before.
we lost Evan. We lost Evan.
I had to make that phone call to my chain of command back in the Corps one time. It was not a good phone call. A story for another time.
So we got an updated, obviously during the stream, they had this whole, they didn't really explain it, but they said basically they said what? They are not available for pre-order. They'll be available later, the spring, summer, whatever they said, right? On the shelf. Right. And of course, a lot of people in the TVC group were freaking out that they had to actually start driving back to a store and find stuff on a shelf, which is not the case.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring up the communication too.
So I like having pre-orders personally. I like guaranteeing that I'm going to get what I want, 99% of the time. My only issue is the inconsistency in terms of the projected ship date versus actual ship date. And I'll give you an example, right? So I had 30 Dark Troopers on order from Amazon. 30. And I liked that they were coming from Amazon because Amazon had that sale where they were like $8 or $9 off, and they honored the price for all previous orders. And that was going to save me like $300. And I was like, heck yeah, that's awesome. Right. But the projected ship date was March. And then they decided to ship them in December. And I was like, well, I don't have $600 in my account right now. So unfortunately, I have to cancel those. And that was very frustrating to me. I just wish that things could ship when they're projected to ship and not early. And we could still have this pre-order process. It just, they need to arrange with the retailers better about actual ship dates, For a while, they had a valid excuse about, well, we don't know when things are going to come in because global shipping crisis and COVID and blah, blah, blah. But
the last 2 years, I feel like Christmas was hurtful. The amount of stuff that showed up. Wasn't it the last 2 years?
Yeah. The one thing I wonder, I don't know about you guys, but I'm much more impulsive with pre-orders as opposed to when it's real. And I wonder how it's going to affect sales, because
that's what I was going to say too, Chris.
Yeah.
If I'm going to order and pay for it now, I'm probably not going to order as much as I do with pre-orders.
Yeah.
Because there's not, we talk about this all the time. There's not a time where you haven't got a shipping notice and, oh man,
I forgot to cancel it.
Yeah, did I really need to order? I got 2 cases of the current wave coming from EE right now, and I'm like, I only need 1 of that case. Why do I order 2?
Oh, did that started processing? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of that too could be the other side of it, right? Where people are jockeying for these pre-orders, and then once they do see one that's shipped, they cancel the rest, and it's kind of screwing with possibly, projected amounts that each store is ordering or each retailer is ordering. I don't know if that's the case.
Jason made a good point there about the retailers going under.
Yep.
With the pre-orders, that could have played a factor because some people got hosed there.
Well, think about it. Think about me. I'm just one person, right? I'm not a company that orders hundreds or thousands of units. For me, if my Dark Troopers ship early, that's $600.
Tyler, you're hitting your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm just one person, and when I get hit with a $600 pre-order that ships 4 months early, that hurts, right? But think about a company that's buying units in the hundreds or thousands, right? When you're trying to budget for, okay, these Dark Troopers are supposed to hit in March, and now all of a sudden, it's like, oh, surprise, your Dark Troopers have arrived. Fork over the $40,000, whatever for them, right? It's like, what kind of small business can sustain getting slapped with something unexpected like that? I mean, that's a lot of freaking money when you expand it out to an entire business. So it's no wonder that there are certain businesses that are like, I can't do this because they're one freaking pre-order shipment away from bankruptcy.
Well, yeah, and some are getting these before others, and they're gonna probably cater at certain times to their bigger retailers, and that can hurt the little guy too.
That's the other thing.
It probably gets, John, to what you were saying about the canceling of pre-orders, because I think it's net 30 or for Hasbro on their terms. So yeah, if you get it, you have 30 days, and in theory, you get the money from your customers, ship it, you pay Hasbro, so it's not that big of a disaster. But if you get hit with that net 30, and people canceled a bunch of pre-orders, now you have inventory, no cash. I could see that being a problem.
Yep. Sitting on stock that's not selling because it already sold some.
And Chris, you had mentioned too, could be some of the credit card management stuff, right? Where, Walmart makes it difficult. I think they've improved on that, but they make it difficult to update your credit card. And because there's such a long wait period for, an item to actually arrive and ship between that and your pre-order date, there's cancellations, expirations, all that stuff.
Yeah, I just had my credit card they used for all my pre-orders just sent me unsolicited. Here's it wasn't supposed to expire till 2025. Here's an upgraded card that I didn't ask for, new number, and it goes into effect at the end of this month. So now I have to go through and update all those. And my current card, it's not like I can keep my current card. It's now cancels on the 26th.
Yeah, Walmart won't let you update your card too.
Yeah,
one or the other.
No, you can now with Walmart, and I hate to say this, but like I got a few things shipped to me, and they still had my old card on file, and I still like received the item, and they wanted me to like update my information, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" just played it off. Anyways, and I didn't trust that they were calling me, but I lost my wallet at one point last year. And is it terrible of me that the first thing I thought of was all my pre-orders and not canceling all of my cards? And no, my pre-orders, what's gonna happen? But yeah, it's really interesting. And obviously their email to us said, and Chris, you pointed this out. It said the products will be available on shelf and online during the scheduled dates. The scheduled dates is summer, spring. So
here's a vague 90-day window. It's gonna ship.
June 21st, on the day of summer solstice. It will happen. So I think you're going to see things go in stock. They're not going to go out of stock quickly. I think there will still be an abundance of product. I'm hoping.
Unless there's another Stormtrooper.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to sell out.
Unless it's Walmart exclusive. So I believe, between Hasbro Pulse, Entertainment Earth, all of those, and again, on shelf does not mean on a physical shelf or just a physical shelf. It means people were. I couldn't tell you how many comments I saw about. Oh, does that mean I'm gonna have to go hunting again and find stuff where my Walmart never stocks it? It's like no.
But I agree with Tyler. I like if they're not going to do pre-orders, I wish they would. I know this is really unpopular with the e-tailers. I wish they'd go to a street date. So if you get it in, we're gonna you might get it in a little, but hold to this date to put it up. So at least we all know this is the day you go order it. If they're not going to do pre-orders,
or have a small little pre-order window. I don't know. That way you can definitely get your order in.
I'd feel a lot better if I could have ordered 2 cases of that Vader the next day. That would the Death Star 2. No, it's done. It's in the books. Just like with the Boba Fett. That was a great feeling. Get a case of I know this thing's going to sell out. Order a case of them right off the bat, and I'm done with it. And then when I got the no censor version, order another case and hopefully I get the censor version.
It's going to be a complete mess, and I don't think it'll be that bad, Larry. I mean, again, barring any Walmart exclusives, I don't think it'll be that bad.
Well, I think there is a little truth to that, though. I could see EE pulling back, not knowing what they're, I mean, they're not going to want to get stuck with inventory. Where the pre-sale, you're comfortable that you're going to make those sales. That's a Family Guy. All right.
Dollars in credit card debt, Chris knows. There you go.
It's from when Peter and Quagmire were a folk duo. Into Harmony's Way. Into Harmony's Way. I knew I could think of the episode name.
Doesn't give them those all-important projection numbers either. So one wave in the future could over or underproduce. Oh, hold on a second.
What's going on? Is John farting? What's going on? I could see a reflection in his case. He's getting yelled at.
Sorry about that.
I can see the doggo.
My daughter. Sorry. So what was Tim saying here? Doesn't give them all those important Yeah, I still think they're going to produce their number. I still think they're going to produce, I still think in a way that they're going to produce a certain number of figures for the cost breaks they get for whatever their sweet spot is. Would you guys agree with that? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe because of Pulse that they'll just assume the slack, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to have a minimum order quantity to begin with, so they're going to make that. But
Chief Chirper, what's up, buddy? What do we got here? It's summer in New Zealand now, so I'm looking to having mine 6 months before Tim for a change. I saw that rain you guys got in the Auckland area, and I gotta say, it made my local news. And I was talking to my buddy Dion. He was saying something like almost 17 inches of rain in 12 hours. Yeah, that would destroy where I live. The valley would be underwater completely. Like, I couldn't believe all that. Always bet on something being underproduced. Guys, there's 30 items in stock right now at EE. Is that why this is happening? Because I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Well, it's interesting because EE keeps trying to throw in a free Black Series figure with certain orders, but they're not doing that with TBC. So,
But to Randy's point, I mean, it's always cheapest to buy it when if you're on the fence, it's always cheapest to buy it then. They don't get cheaper as time goes on for the most part.
Nope.
Unless you're wave one of 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a worry. It's okay, Tim. You'll get it 6 months before us.
I know. Tim, I was looking. Our Paz Vizsla is still 6 months out.
It's painful. Well, all right, guys. Been a great show. Again, over 2.5 hours. We've been rocking here. Chewy. Any departing final words from you guys, Tyler?
Well, we look forward to March and the tournament kicking off for the next month. Poor John's going to be tallying hundreds of lists and thousands of characters. So, poor guy. But we thank him for doing it, and we're excited to show what's going to be on the tournament this year. There's definitely going to be some repeat characters, but probably some new ones as well. So that's about it.
Looking forward to seeing those results, dude. Chris, what do you got for us, man?
Oh, nothing. I think we talked it all out. Don't have anything left.
Yeah,
I just want to go get some soup right now.
Some soup. What kind of soup you got there? Some fish eye soup? What do you got?
No, I was just trying to think of something an old guy would be having for dinner.
Some
so.
soup. Some
Chowder.
soup. I was gonna joke around.
I was gonna say, with the age differences, I say I'm like the principal of the group when we started. I should have had tuna and black coffee for lunch.
I was joking around, Tyler. I was like, we're gonna have somebody in their 6th decade of life, their 5th decade of life, and their 4th decade of life. My boss once said that to me. He's like, congratulations, you're now in the 5th decade of your life. When I turned 40, and I was like, I hate you. I hate you even more now. So, all right, guys, thanks everyone for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciated, and may the force be with you, and we'll see you guys all again soon, I hope.
Later.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Yep, stick around.
Okay.